This is the city of Lugansk. We are now inside the barricade, which has been set up around the perimeter of the square. People are on guard here, keeping watch over our city. They keep watch round the clock. There are no weapons or troops here. You can see for yourself. The barricade's made of tires and barbed wire. This particular section has been reinforced to repel potential attacks, which may come at any time of the day or night.
Отстоим родной Луганск. За нами победа.
What has our government, excuse me, this Kiev junta done to unite Ukraine? They've mobilized their army. Excuse me, but against whom are they mobilizing? Who are the aggressors? Where are they? I've made some pies, laid a clean tablecloth, and I'm waiting for this aggressor to come and capture me. When is he going to come? Then they disconnected our televisions. After that, they called us a diaspora. How can we be a diaspora? There are 8 million of us here who just speak a different language.
20 million, not 8.
No, I'm talking about the number of Russian-speaking people here. How long are they going to bully us? I can sing a song in Ukrainian. I can recite you a poem in Ukrainian.
What do you think about how Ukrainians and Russians get on together?
We're all Slavs. We have to live in peace. We're brothers. We shouldn't fight each other. We're one people.
We're all brothers.
My homeland's behind me. Russia is our homeland.
I have an aunt in Russia and friends in Novorossiysk. We can't go to war against each other. I don't even like to use the word. This is the 21st century. How can two Slavic peoples go to war? And what are we supposed to make of today's order from the so-called Kiev government? The so-called Kiev government gave the order to kill their own people in Slavyansk. How is it even possible? I don't know what to say. They don't care about the Geneva Accord.
Fascists.
There are OSCE monitors wandering about all over the place. But what's going on? I can't figure it out. None of us can. Who is in charge of this madhouse?
We were just getting on with our lives and not bothering anyone. If they want to join the EU, that's fine with us. We're not against the West. But we've always been friends with Russia. The Russians don't interfere in our business, and we've always got on well. We've no reason to quarrel either with Russia or the West. So why send in troops? It's just ugly.
This is our home. We've got a culture and a language of our own. What right do other people have to come here and start laying down the law? Both my grandfathers were killed in World War II. I'll never sing Glory to Ukraine, Glory to Bandera. I hope they get the message. All those responsible will have to be tried at The Hague. Why send troops here? They should be arresting all those terrorists in Kiev instead. All of the presidential candidates, the military junta, the Nazis who gave orders to kill their own people. Just because their culture and their views are different. I'm just standing up for myself. I'm not a politician. Here's our Kalashnikov. Yeah, it's the Kalashnikov, the latest model. That's our automatic. We don't have any other weapons.
Yarosh, head of the right sector, is assembling a hit squad called Donbass. Once it's assembled, he's going to target us. We're just unarmed people who are simply trying to protect our legitimate interests. He's made an announcement promising to pay ordinary soldiers $1,000 and officers $5,000.
А что это такое у нас? Тихо, тихо. Вот этого допрашивайте, он... Хлопці, не бити, я його знаю, хлопці, не бити.
Why so?
Because there's injustice going on in our country. There was a coup, an illegal takeover of power. And naturally, the new authorities are setting up their own rules. Anyone who disagrees is removed by any means possible, either put in prison or killed. These are the rules.
БТРы пытались свалить. Ты в кого стреляешь, ты? Ты в кого стрелять собрался? В кого ты стрелять собрался? В кого? Что ты автомат достал? Глуши! Глуши так! Глуши! Да до греха не доводи! Ты понимаешь, сейчас люди кинутся, тебе и автомат не поможет! Да вытаскивать их с того танка! Глуши машину! Сзади люди, спереди люди! Пацаны! Что происходит? Пацаны, не трогайте! Пацаны, не трогайте! Не трогайте! Не трогайте! Давайте без крика! Подожди, какая у вас задача? Сиди, подожди! На Славянск! Какая у вас задача? На Славянской машине, сидите в машине! На Славянской не едете! На Славянской дочь!
Глушить наших пацанов!
На Славянской дочь! В кого стрелять собрался? До последнего YouTube не держит.
My name is Natalia Safonova, and I live in the city of Krasnodon. When the revolution began, the miners kept working. They were working until a few days ago. Yesterday, on April 22nd, at 9 p.m., a demonstration began here, in the Young Guard Square. Today is April 23rd, and it still hasn't broken up. Please tell us, how do you feel about the right sector's actions in Ukraine?
You could call it Nazism.
Are you afraid of Nazism?
Of course not. Why would we be afraid?
Not all the miners around Donbass have risen up yet. If the whole of Donbass rises up together, it'll be game over for everyone.
Do you know that a soldier was killed in Molodogvardisk for refusing to fight?
This is just the beginning.
Yeah, right. This is just the beginning. But how long will it last for?
Well, I've no idea.
We're doing our best. Standing here trying to put an end to it.
I can say one thing only. If the miners rise up, it will be worse than Maidan. 1,000,000 times worse.
Our people in the Lugansk region are Russians in their hearts. Our people are Russian at heart. They gather here and chant, Russia. I'm sorry, but they wouldn't be able to use money to bring 10, 20, or even 30,000 people together to shout Russia. And they wouldn't be coming here daily to bring us porridge, eggs, and financial help, you see? The point of our activity here is to represent the interests of the people. If the people say so, then that's how it'll be. That is, we do what the people say. And if they say otherwise, that means we'll do so as well.
Едут к нам в Мариуполь. Ля, сколько их, ничего себе.
Так что там, ящики какие-то?
Ракеты, что ли?
О, Катюша! Это град, Радчик, Катюша. А что не собираются?
Колонна с машин 30, наверное, блин. Ну это от Мариуполя сколько? Километров 60. Танки, танки. Ай, глянь, там ты шо?
Пожалуйста, скажи людям, что оставляют в машине, выходят туда под стенку. Для чего? Сейчас со словами наготове. Стрелять по нам?
Какие наготове? Там, блин,
2 минуты, они горят все, Вы что, ходят, пацаны?
Вы говорили, что они едут, блин.
Куда не едут? Со стволами не уедут. Милиция приедет, заберет стволы.
А я оружие гаишникам в багажник складывайте автоматы, боекомплект, хай увозят. Командир, давай приказ. Хай ребята сразу мусора.
Сюда!
Коридор!
Петра, машину! Не подчиняйтесь, сюда, сразу, в эту сторону.
Молодцы, пацаны, что так поступили. Молодцы, ребята, сдавайте, сдавайте. Кто за оружие нормально, молодцы. Молодцы. Проконтролируйте, чтобы оружие не пошло никуда. И не ездите сюда со стволами. Не слушайте, что вам говорят. Вы на народ идете с оружием. Мы с голыми руками стоим.
Давай! Максим!
Слайд.
Вы нормально не уедете! Вы нормально не уедете!
Does the media lead us or we lead the media? Privacy versus security. All right, your party, where's it going? The questions that no one is asking with the guests that you deserve answers from. It's all on politicking, only on RT.
Do we speak your language?
Informativo NRT.
Want news, programs and documentaries in Spanish? What matters to you? Breaking news, alternative angles, hidden stories. Are you here? Then try RT Spanish. Find out more, visit actualidad.rt.com.
Welcome to the first Middle East Peace Raps. This afternoon, Rap News is proud of this tremendous chance to prove the peace-filled art of rap could chart the best roadmap to start anew. So first up, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Shalom. Bibi been ready this whole time to engage the peace process with war crimes.
We've yet to ask the rival party. We now cross direct to Gaza to check the raps of a Palestinian spokesperson representing Hamas.
Salam, as you can see, we are ready to talk peace. But only within the 1967 borders will we recognize Israel and sign deals. Oh yeah? Recognize this.
I wonder if you still buy this portrayal of Assad as ruthless murderer, the butcher of Damascus.
I don't believe by any means that Bashar al-Assad is cut of the same cloth as his father, who is a totally powerful, in control leader. In fact, he may not be fully in charge.
Что такое? Урал блокировали возле поста ГАИ, он с ящиками, с оружием.
Ребята, можно отъехать?
В ящик.
Да я не знаю, хлопцы, что в ящиках.
Я сейчас скрывать начну.
Да зачем их скрывать?
Едете куда?
Мужики,
Куда едете?
выключите это самое.
Едете куда? Едете куда? Давайте группу на пост. Письменное распоряжение приказа где? Письменное распоряжение приказа о дислокации на какое место прибытия. А как вы едете? У вас должен быть дорожный лист, должен быть приказ. А что приехали? Приехали, что? Приехал, что я тебя спрашиваю?
Я на Луганск ехал.
Луганск вообще в другой стороне, ребята. Луганск в другой стороне.
Я же говорю, запутался Луганск, это самое.
На 80 километров вперед документы свои показал. Быстро.
Давай показывай, что там есть.
Оружие все.
Ребят,
Держи руки, руки держать.
да не держите все.
Забирай.
Да перестаньте, я же никому ничего плохого не делал.
Да вообще никто плохого не делает, понимаешь? Вообще никто ничего плохого не делает. Забирай. Да, ложи.
Ложи на пол, ложи, вот.
Стоп.
И мы еще ящики не срываем.
Без сопровождения.
Да, ясно. Иди.
Открывай путь.
Стоите вот тут.
Все, здесь.
Не надо, все прекрасно. Давайте. Открывайте ящик.
Пока тут тихо.
Один мне.
Жека, возьми
мне один. Что тут? Даже самое...
Да не трогайте. А где куда будет, как рванет? На, проверь.
Аккуратнее.
Патрон, финки. Проверь.
А это отца, это твое. Гранаты.
Все, ложи назад. Ты что, отошли от машины?
Это самое заблокировало. Я догнала их.
Никаких оружий на Донбассе не будет.
Дозвольте, я уеду и никаких-то самых...
Уедешь, только...
Ты уедешь теперь отсюда. Мы хотим мира.
Все тут.
When are they going to stop insulting us? When will they stop calling us separatists and terrorists? We get up each morning and we're called separatists. That's how we've started greeting each other. Hello, I'm a terrorist. Hello, I'm a separatist. We're no different from those people, well, except we don't speak Ukrainian. That's the only difference between us. So why is it they hate their own people so much? Where does all this bitterness and hatred come from? What have we done to them to hate us so much? If we're really such a pain in the neck, so hooked on subsidies, why don't they just leave us alone? All we want is the right to determine our own future. Give us a referendum and we'll solve the problems ourselves.
They're afraid of a referendum, afraid of their own people. But why? The people have the right to vote.
We'll farm the land and work in the mines. Just leave us alone, please. Please, just let us be. We're peace-loving people.
I'm from Odessa. I wish I could ask the people how it's come to this. The reason why I don't want to show my face is because, to my mind, we live in an undemocratic country which has no freedom of speech. There are lots of kidnappings in Ukraine. It's not at all uncommon for people whose opinions are different to be stopped in the street and beaten.
Прекращайте избиение! Прекращайте избиение! И они связаны, не надо бить ногами. Держи. Ребята, держите, свяжите его. Ребята, спросите, чего он пришел. Давай,
Но пасарам! Ну не пройдет фашизм! Но пасарам! Не пройдет фашизм! Нет фашизму! В нашем городе фашизму не будет! Я вам передаю привет от всех, кто сегодня за нами смотрит и следит за нашими событиями. Бог нам поможет!
Do you think most people in Odessa support or oppose the Euromaidan?
I think about 80% of Odessa residents are against the Euromaidan. The remaining 20 are probably misled or just don't live here permanently. Almost all the locals are against the Maidan.
They rallied at the Maidan to make Yanukovych go, and he did. Why are they there now then? What do they want?
Personally, I'd say they want the plague of nationalism to spread all over Ukraine. Nobody in the southeast or the rest of Ukraine needs any of this kind of nationalism.
We want the Europe that the Crusaders fought for, the Europe that European nationalists fought for, The Europe of white people. Muslims humiliate the natives now. They take away our lands. We will stand for Europe, the white Europe, the traditional Europe, for the free nation Europe. Glory to the nation!
What do you think about the situation in the country? Is it good or bad?
It's awful. First, they drove a wedge between us and our Russian brothers. As for me, I'm neither going to travel to Russia nor to anywhere else. I want to live in Odessa. I want everything to be fine. I want us to be friends with Russia. The West is not for us, you know. This union, what's happening in our country? It's a nightmare. How will we survive? For instance, my salary is $92 per month. Can I get by? Gas prices are now about to spike by 73%. The prices for medicines have already been raised by 60%. It's terrible, really terrible.
We've been waiting for the Geneva Agreements. We got them, and we're very grateful to Russia for them. We understand well that the so-called interim Kiev government, as well as the right sector, the Svoboda Party, and some other Nazi groups, never meant to fulfill the obligations. They're not going to comply and simply can't. They have different intentions: to cut and kill with the slogan, "Hang Muscovites on trees."
Сюда иди! Руки мои из кармана, когда с тобой говорить, морской пехотинец! Так не
Иногда мне кажется, что всех нас...
Sometimes I feel like we've all been used. They took off our handcuffs and put us in leg irons instead. They're now setting us up against the southeast of Ukraine the same way they set us against the Berkut, the police, Crimeans, and then Russia. I wonder who's interested in it and why. I wouldn't want to be persecuted. Any person who is against the developments in Ukraine may be accused of separatism and really go to jail. That's why I want to stay anonymous.
The Ukrainian parliament adopted a law under which those guilty of acts of separatism and terrorism can be thrown into prison for 10 to 15 years, or even for life. We now fall into this category. I'm not saying that it's you, but your European colleagues. Some European authorities approved it, and the Ukrainian parliament adopted the law. They did it. So it appears that you, I mean those European bodies, agree that we're terrorists. Here I am. Do I look like a terrorist? And now I'm facing a life sentence according to the current legislation. I'm polite and communicate normally. I represent the interests of the people. You have to understand that not everybody can or is willing to put their own life at stake in order to save people.
Не снимайте, пожалуйста, потому что сейчас без камеры останется. Ладно. Который
Они нас убивают! Я же сильно, мы же люди, но вызовите скорую! Где медики? Сюда! Сюда, быстрее! Быстрее! Быстрее сюда! А это не украинец! А это кто не украинец? Толпами сталкиваться, как да успокойтесь! Фашизм не пройдет! Фашизм не пройдет! Фашизм не пройдет!
I'll speak about Kharkov only. I won't speak on behalf of Ukraine. Each person must speak up and say what he wants, what he desires. Why are the authorities afraid of the referendum? Why? Are they afraid? Yes, they are. But if they're not, then they must let us say what we have to say. And we will. We are not separatists. We are not radicals. I live in Kharkov. I'm 61. I want to understand where I live, what country I live in.
Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus need to unite. We shouldn't let Russia down. Russia isn't here. Russia supports us morally, but not physically. Americans are supporting the junta physically. There are troops, there are lots of documents, video materials, printed materials proving this. But nobody's interested.
Look how many people come to the rallies. Everybody's there, from students to pensioners, even veterans come. Ukrainian TV is spreading lies. They're saying that Russians are being brought in. Is it even possible to bring so many Russians? Look, thousands of people come for rallies in eastern Ukraine. Have they brought half of the Russian population here? They call us extremists. We always ask for permission to hold peaceful rallies, but they refuse us. It seems that the heroes of Maidan are allowed to seize buildings, to rob banks, to kill people, but we're not allowed to hold peaceful rallies. You can see that we're unarmed. We're not wearing masks. We have only one demand. We want to hold a referendum. We want to be heard. You can't force 20 million people into Europe and NATO against their will.